What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here again with another clash from the Alestrals, as we have a clash that doesn't go very long, but so much happens in so little time. It's not even funny. But we're gonna start it off here. I actually won the dice roll this time. It's been a while since I think it's been a while since I've actually started the clash as a win, as a start. I do play one set down immediately, as I drew. And everyone's favorite starting. This is like one of the biggest starts ever. Astrabid in defense position to kick off the clash, activating its effect. Look at the top 3 cards in my deck. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Put 2 back, and of course after you shuffle, before you shuffle. And move the dice out of the way. Love to do this as well. But yeah, we might have people might have lost Spark It, but I don't think we're gonna be losing Astrabid anytime soon to Tartarus, because I don't see any reason why you would do that. But I will then play Eruption, knocking my opponent for 3 spirits, putting us at an even spiel of 17 spirits. Like, I might be spending some spirits, but I'm going to make sure you spend some spirits too. First set of things that go crazy here. My opponent will draw a turn. Now, they're obviously using the Frost deck. Which will it be? More Frost, Imperial Watt, or Cryo Scorch? I haven't seen many people using the Cryo Scorch or Imperial Watt strategies at all, but they are going to use more Frost Lichen, which allows you to expend 1 Frost Spirit and discard the Lichen form in order to search up to 2 more Frost that isn't Lichen from your deck to add to your hand, which it looks like it's going to be in this form and in Abominable's form. Obviously, more Frost Abominable is what you're looking for when it comes to the more Frost deck, getting that out there, getting... Pretty much, you want like all your more Frost. You want to have 3 Lichens, 3 in this, and 3, maybe 2 other Abominables too, and 3 the other form, which I can't think off the top of my head. And you want them all in the thing so you could have a pretty big Abominable when you get it out there. So they set 1 face down, and then they're going to play the Indus form in defense position, which adds an effect that allows the caster to expend 1 Frost Spirit, as they are reading it out, to search their deck for 2 more Frost, doesn't specify which ones, and send them to the Underworld. So, yes, Ambrosias are definitely your friend with this type of deck. Honestly, I think Ambrosia, and if you were a more Frost player, I think Ambrosia and maybe some Ambrosia Cornucopia would probably be very good, just to be able to get your chance to get as many spirits back as possible, if that would work out for you, because it's very expensive. Outside of fire decks, I think the Morphos deck is the most expensive deck out there for spirits. It's kind of hard to keep them going, but they threw, it looked like, an Indus and a Lichen into the Underworld. So right now they have a pretty powerful. If they get the Abominable out here, they get a pretty powerful Alestral out here to start off. My turn, as they are down to 14 spirits, and I still have my 17. I draw. I expend to draw, simply because I didn't like what I had in my hand. I wanted to try. I have a plan here. Don't worry. I got a plan. Got myself a plan here, and I need to activate it. But I'm going to play Thunderstorm to pretty much wreck their day and stop whatever they have on them. And that's basically my turn, because I did expend. So we are at 14 each. It looks like it was a Shield of Achilles for them, which is pretty good for me to get rid of. My opponent draws. They are checking their spirit count. They're basically checking their spirit count, because once they get that Cryovern, or Cryoling, it goes straight in the Cryovern with 6 spirits in the spirit world. They're going to play Nectar of the Gods. Always a nice one to have, because you definitely want to have that ability to get these spirits. They will place 1 face down, and then they're going to play a Harpoon. They do have it set up for attack right now, but they will put it in defense position, because there's really no reason to have it in attack right now with a 5 defense on the field, which allows them to search for a 1-cost Frost Celestial and add it to their hand. Which, of course, is going to be the Cryoling. Why not? They got 2 strategies here. I don't know if they have Cryo Scorch. I didn't ask them, but Cryoling and the Cryovern, most likely Cryo Scorch, or the Abominable and make it very difficult for me to do anything against them. So after all that, that is basically their turn, as they're going to sit here, cut their deck, I'm pretty sure. Yep, they put one more face down, and then they end their turn. 14 spirits to 11 as we go right now, and here comes everything as I draw, and on draw, this is the only time you can play this. I am going to play a Helios Chariot Ride, and if you watch my previous clash, you are going to know exactly what we're getting into right here. I was waiting for them to get a second Celestial on there. I'm going to... I made the conscious decision to, like, not use Thunder. I use Thunder instead of Fire Spirits. I play Exalt Flare. I'm going with the Witch strategy here. I'm going to play the Hephaestus, adding 2 more onto it. I'm going to disenchant. This was a mistake. I don't know why I did this. I'm so used to playing Hephaestus, disenchanting, and getting the hammer. Just going to tell you right now, I do not play the hammer at all. I don't know why I got the hammer here, because if I'm going to what I'm going to, the hammer is not necessary in this, so I could have made this clash a little bit more faster to get done. Also, Astravid is supposed to be in attack position right now, by the time we get to the Blazerus. But I totally, like, whiffed on that. It is supposed to be in attack position. Pay no attention to that. I'm going to ascend, especially into Blazerus, being able to attack both Norpoon and the Indus Flare, since there are no face down ruins, it can't pop one. Allowing me to get right into Trifernal, which gotta have that, love that. Again, the hammer on the field means nothing. That was supposed to be in attack position. I totally forget to do that. And I pick up the hammer, which does not get used. And I hit them for 5 spirits from their spirit deck, knocking them down to 6. I went from 14 spirits to 6 spirits on this one turn. That's how expensive this play is. And it is basically a win con. It is basically, this is like setting myself to own this board for the remainder of this game. Plain and simple. Now, I'm gonna need a judge or somebody to come in here to tell me if I was in the right here coming up, as my opponent is going to, they draw, and they're going to play, as they're looking at their back row, they're going to check their spirit deck, because obviously they did get the Cryoling previous turn here. And I'm going to need... They do play Cryoling, but I, with having Trifernal properly enchanted, I disenchant... not disenchant, but I expend a Fire Spirit, my last Fire Spirit actually for this time, to drop its defense to 0. Its defense is 3, and my effect does 3. I need somebody to tell me if this goes right, because I destroy the Cryoling, which thus negates the ability for Cryoling to go into Cryoburn, if I am correct, right? And nothing else. And they will be disenchanted. It disenchants, destroying the Cryoling. Preventing the Cryoburn, I'm pretty sure I would have to have somebody who got that's down right. They're definitely looking if they can chain anything, which they still... If they had a Gorgon's Gaze, this would have been the time to play it. For the simple fact is, that would have prevented me from being able to... after I expend my effect from going through, and they would have been able to go into Cryoburn right then and there. Which, right now, we're having that discussion, trying to figure out if this actually makes any sense, if this actually works or not. I'm just going to sit there and say that's what it is. But I'm going to need a judge or somebody to sit here and check this video out, get to this section, and let me know what the actual ruling is. I'm pretty sure I got it right. I could be wrong, but it's nothing too big. Yeah, so that gets rid of Cryoling. Pretty much leaving them wide open. Because they don't have any Celestials on the field. They're trying to figure out what they want, what they can do, if anything, at this time to keep themselves in the game. Because right now it is at a 5-5 tie right now when it comes to spirits. Because we both had 6 going into this. I expended to draw on... I expended to keep their Cryoling, which they used to be able to get up to 6 spirits. So there is that. Now, as they sit here and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do, yeah, it's definitely a crazy clash. So we're both down to 5 spirits at this time. That they have an earthquake here. If they actually had an earthquake at this time and they played it, this clash goes completely different, because yes, they'd be down to 3 spirits, but yeah. So my turn, I draw. I simply just re-enchant my Astrabbit, which is still in attack position. I should have put it in defense position, but I didn't. To get a card, I place one card face down. And that's basically all I could really do. I could attack and hit them for 6 and ending the clash. However, they could have a Shield of Achilles. They could have Tsunami. They could have something. I don't want to risk that. So I want to keep the big puppy, big three-headed doggy on the field right now. So I end my turn. They draw, and this is probably one of the this is their biggest play right here. This gets a little bit here. They play Ambrosia, which was down, which was a very good play for them to do, getting him 3 spirits back. Which honestly, with the fact that they had no spirits on the board to use for Ambrosia, it's pretty much just trading 1 for 2, 1 for 3, so they get pretty much 2 spirits back. They're up to 7. They're up to 7 spirits. Now, the next play allows to heal them up a little bit more as well. As they're going to sit here and they're going to play Catarant in defense position, which when it gets 1 Frost Enchanted and less Spirit, it is able to give you 2 Frost Spirits back. So they went from 5 to basically 8 coming out of this. But oh yeah. So yeah, that gets them to 8. This is a crazy play here. This right here, I give them all the props in the world for what comes next. They're going to sit here and they're going to use the ability of Enfrostix, which expend 2 spirits in order to target and special cast a 1-cost Celestial from their underworld. And they only really have 2 options here. It's Morfrost or Cryoling. And Cryoling does come to the field. Now, because it was specially brought in, and there's more than 6 Frost Spirits in the underworld, for sure, we already know this, they have to immediately ascend this into a Cryovern. Which they're checking their spirits right now, but clearly with how very few spirits there are left in this clash, we are going to see them then go straight to Cryovern as soon as they figure out what they're going to do next. They are letting us know, they're letting me know everything, but yes, Cryoling goes back to the underworld, but does become a Cryovern, which still cannot hit over Trifernal, but it is misenchanted in case of a Tsunami, which my Fire Thunder deck does not carry. I have other counter runes, but Tsunami is not one of them. I have a full-on water deck for that. So that ascends in, which is misenchanted. They use that to definitely 1000% take out the Astrabbit, which Astrabbit really wasn't going to get to do much more anyway. And basically that was their turn. So in the grand scheme of things, the entire turn, they went from 5 spirits and did all that and ended up with 1 less spirit, as they end up with 4 at this time. At least that's what it should be. Yeah, because they had the 5, they played that, got 8, got 6, got the counterment, got 8, and did all of that to get themselves, and they used 4 spirits. So, I play Eruption. I took 1 from the extra 1 from Trifernal, and the 1 from Hephaestus to play Eruption. Using the spirits on my field, Hephaestus and the extra 1 from Trifernal to hit them for 3. I then expend this draw. which gives me an Ambrosia to get 3 spirits back, which I kind of needed to finish this clash. I needed this to finish the clash because I actually used up all my... When I expended that one to get rid of the Kryling the first time, I ended up using up all my fire spirits. So I 1000% needed to do this to get off the... So I then triple... Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't all at once, but the volcanic reaction, I triple eruption, ending their spirit count, but because they still have spirits on the field, I hit over the Cryoburn, making them cost extra 1, and that is the clash. Picking up the win, 6 spirits left to 0. This was a very good clash. Took only 5 turns, but there's so much that happened in this one clash. I have never seen so much done in a turn, like we had for this clash, for me or for my opponent. But hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.